Our story begins with Jeff going with his friends on a boat in the river that was in the forest, and their work was to catch snakes and sell them. On this day, they arrived at a dangerous place where all kinds of snakes were gathered. The boat owner said to them, "Do you know where you are coming to? This is the forest. Entering it means the lost don't come out, and those who come out are born anew. I heard there is something called the anaconda. As soon as it screams, it kills anyone in front of it." They told him, "You just stay outside waiting for us to come back." He said to them, "Hey, Snkae, I'll stay here. If it doesn't pull me, I'll bring you to this place." He knew they would pay, and they would return. He wouldn't find it. He pulled out some money, handed it to the others, but the anaconda grabbed him by the neck and cut off his head, throwing it into the river. His friends saw this and terror struck them. This monster was in front of them. It came to them and said, "If you leave or even think of betraying me, that is a fate awaiting you." Jeff had come to this forest especially to catch this anaconda. They went deeper into the forest until they hit upon a statue of a snake carved into a dry tree. He confirmed that this anaconda was in the forest. They slipped and fell onto a pit where all kinds of snakes were gathered, including cobras. They started setting up traps and were happy. Jeff didn't care about this. He was searching for the anaconda's lair, where one of those two was. He picked up the snakes and took them to the boat, placing them. Then he struck the anaconda in the river, causing it to raise its head, hit, and move toward its companions. The anaconda twisted around him, spat and bit him, opening its mouth wide and sprayed him. The other grabbed a trap. The boat began to appear, and they heard noises. He called his friend while striking the anaconda passing beside him and climbed a tree. He saw his friend with the bite mark in her mouth. When she tried to flee, the anaconda twisted around him and pulled him up the tree. Jeff stood watching, happy. He had brought them just to capture the anaconda, aiming his crossbow at the anaconda who had spat on his friend. Besides, it wanted to spit on him. While trying to escape, all the animals in the forest began fleeing. The anaconda also saw its rider and ran away. It seemed like another danger was about to happen. I will see it in another circle another day, which will be open and then closed. The reason they closed it is no longer there. Until someone named Young came and bought the circus from its owner with his workers and lots of money. The workers were shocked at how Young handled this money. Yesterday, he was just an employee working with them in this circus, and now he bought it. They want to know what the job is that made him earn this money. He told them, "Our first show will be in Thailand. World stars will come to watch this show. We are preparing for them tomorrow. We will take the road the next day to gather and go with him since the only craft they earn their bread from had no other solution but this." They climbed nearby and took a road called land. The captain asked how long it would take to reach Thailand. He said the obstacle was clear and that in 3 days we would arrive. I didn't understand anything from what he said. Young went to store in the toilet and called someone, saying he was bringing the people they requested and that he would get them there on time. The situation changed as they found the road cut off by the traps they had set to block the road. The dangerous captain told them they could go back and take another road, but it would cost them 5 days to reach. Young said they must return because they had to be in Thailand on time for a show where they would lose a lot of money that wouldn't be compensated. What did the captain say? "I'll find a solution." They said the only solution was to blow up those boxes with explosives to open the road once we pass. They believed him and sent the young kid Jimmy, who placed explosives with the young man, and went back nearby. The captain held the remote and detonated the bombs. Did you see the boxes that contained the scorpions? They collided in the sky and started falling on them. Nearby, they screamed and ran away. The whole nearby area was filled with scorpions because he lifted a water tube and started pushing the scorpions until he threw them from nearby. The river and Young were stuck in the toilet until a cobra appeared in front of him. He grabbed a stick and started pointing at it to make it go away. Suddenly, several things came down on him. The scorpions jumped into the water and moved. Hafis even came out of the river and faced another cobra that wanted to sting him. He threw himself on the carcass, bit it, and saved him from death. He returned with them to nearby and lied to them, saying that he got lost in the forest and that his canoe got into an accident. He stayed in this forest until one of the team, named Jeff, found him. He put his ear to the decayed corpse's ear and recognized what was inside it. He pressed his finger and put it in his ear. A small snake came out. There was a snake inside. Nothing happened to him despite this shock. She saw how the poison didn't affect him, and she was an expert in this matter. She knew that if a person wants to develop immunity against snake venom, they must inject large quantities of venom into their head. The snake, Dick, will not be affected by his body that night. Leon said that the dive is just lying to him, not an explorer at all. Clearly, there's treasury under his head. Find a place and put it there. You saw how the snakes bit as if nothing happened to him. He told her, "Sir, I risked my life to escape death, and you want me to throw myself into this forest? I'll take the dive with me to the captain who was fishing." He gave him money and told him to take it close to this point on the map, and I'll give you more money once we arrive. He saw the weapon and aimed at him, saying, "If you bring up this issue again, I will finish you." He knew that area had an anaconda moving. Like the captain, he went back fishing, cast the line until something bit it. When he tried to pull it, the hook fell. He dived to retrieve it, found something underwater, dragged it down, and hung his corpse in the middle of the valley to use it as bait to catch the anaconda. The situation got worse as the anaconda began searching for the captain. He disappeared. Snkae believed something was wrong with his home and wondered where he was. The captain told her, "I don't know, this morning it didn't seem usual to me. The disappearance of people in this forest is normal until all the animals in the forest started coming out running, as if they sensed danger. They kept asking what was happening. I told them something big was coming. Then the anaconda appeared wanting to drag the captain's corpse. Strong tugs on the fishing rod as he tries to reel it in, catching it until it comes out of the water. They were shocked when they saw its size and how long it kept pulling on the rod until the hook holding the carcass flew off. It fell into the water, holding onto the fishing line as it kept pulling until a small boat appeared, tied to the line, lifting a meter-long anaconda that couldn't be seen. He went out with the little cousin and lowered him into the water. The group watched, stunned, until the anaconda appeared and returned to the cousin. When it searched for her, it went up to the cousin. They opened its mouth and threw the captain's body to them. Everyone started storing it. One or two of them went into a room and took the corpse with them. He brought a mattress and knocked on it. It arrived. She continued searching for him and went inside, looking for them. Everyone was missing until she reached the toilets, where she and Timmy were hiding. They opened their mouths and ran away, and she followed them until she hit Lan, who had his mouth open to run. He came and offered her to reply, saying that his head was in the anaconda. She started hitting her head to get out and search for a bachelor's video, dropping in. A candle barely lit. The anaconda kept hitting her head until it was completely crushed. The corpse was tied with a rope on its head. It started running with her. Down below, she had reached the Snkae, and all the groups started shouting. They saw the river and headed to the forest. Yuki yelled, and the cousin left, saying he wouldn't arrive on time. They started yelling at him. "Yours is more important than our lives. We were about to die, and you are only thinking about money. This started with a problem with the dive. You are the reason for what happened to us. You risked your lives to catch the anaconda." They told him, "If you knew the financial value of this anaconda, you would have helped me with it, not just what me." They said, "Now we need to find a way to get out of here." Jeff told them he has a plan to get us out of here. He pulled out a map and said, "We are here, and I have my cousin at this point. If we reach him in 2 days, he will take you to Thailand." Without God, she refused to go with him and told them she didn't trust him. "Whoever wants to go, go." She went with one of them named Iana. She began to feel pain in her neck. Yoon checked her and told them it was a spider bite. Jeff told them she has 48 hours before the venom spreads throughout her body. She needs antivenom, or she will die. And if you want this antivenom, it's with my cousin. She agreed to go with Jeff. They moved through the forest, tired, and sat down to rest. They wanted to drink from the water flowing down the waterfall. Jeff told them not to drink that water because it contained a type of worm that would cause them to say goodbye if they drank it. They continued on their way until hunger struck. Dave caught a snake, removed the venom, grilled it, ate it, and then continued on the path until night fell upon them in a small den. He told them they would stay here until morning. They went inside, lit a fire, and sat down. Dave sat alone, thinking about the day that the anaconda slayer. Before she got fully alert, she hid in a coffin and closed it. The anaconda pushed it down from the mountain into the valley. He tried to get out of the coffin, banging on it, still pushing against it. The water flowed until they reached the edge of the crates that were blocking the path. Things escalated until this group arrived and smashed those crates. He came out of the coffin. Young went to Jeff and told him about the anaconda he wanted to hunt. Jeff asked how much it was worth. Young said the money was enough to live on for a lifetime. The kid from earlier generations listened closely. This matter involved serious money. He said he was with him for the hunt. Jeff said it wasn't the small snake Young imagined, it was the biggest anaconda in the world. You have to get over your fear and use your brain. They all fell asleep. Suddenly one of the group woke up, hitting him hard. He was hitting his cousin in anger with no response. He looked for him, found him by the river drinking water. A puppy appeared, making it more visible. Worms came out of his nostrils. They knew how to drink from that waterfall water until he died right before them and returned to the cafe. In the morning, they continued their journey until they reached the valley they needed to cross in the middle on foot. They had no other solution but to cross it on foot. They descended, started moving within it, and Hedge began speaking to them. "There is something underwater." They stopped until they found it. I was counting steps beside them. Terror rose in them. The last one standing was the one whose cousin had died. The anaconda moved. I went out from behind buckets to it because I tried to save it. The anaconda bit the bone and pulled it underwater. The group moved, desperate to get out of the river, and found nearby. The anaconda is in front of them. The anaconda brought the medicine, gave it to them, and they told him, "We need to get out of here." He asked them about their intention. "I kept my promise to you. Now it's your turn to help me with the anaconda." They said, "Impossible to help you with that." He replied, "If not, you'll help me." He pulled his gun on them and jumped with a tickle. He told them, "I'm with him, and you will do what I say, or we will hit you." He asked them, "Are you crazy?" "Anaconda, I will catch it." He told them, "This is your role, I will use you as bait to catch it." They shushed Jimmy, and they came onto a net they had prepared for the young anaconda. Jimmy said, "If we die, who will work with you on that deal?" They asked, "Who told you that we will perform for you?" "I was going to sell you to a gang to take your organs. That's my business which makes me money." But now I changed the plan. This anaconda will bring me more money than your organs. He said, catch it because it serves as bait with some trees. He thought they should not be close to each other. Then he loosened the net and after he lost focus, the weapon slipped from his hand. He tried to shoot but the gun lock jammed. They tried to shoot him because he was being stubborn, but he sent hits their way that opened the lock and shot. He fired the gun. The net caught him. The two started trying to bring him down. He was hit with a bullet and grabbed the net wanting to hold his head. The two gave the head a twist with a police baton. They knocked him unconscious. Timmy came and the anaconda was coming towards them. Young jumped and pulled the net's rope, attacking him trying to catch it, but didn't know the anaconda was heading for him. From above, he heard something. He lifted his head and saw it in front of him with its mouth open. It pulled the rope, the net tightened around him and they stood back until they came to the loose net. Their friends circled around and found the carcass heading towards them until an anaconda grabbed the group. They tried to run but found their friend hit with a bullet and bleeding. It was she who got shot. They said goodbye in front of the three who survived. They moved back to the edge to get out of the forest until something hit him in the neck. He turned and found he was hit with a sedative injection and fell unconscious. Because Jimmy saw the carcass that hit him was still alive after he freed its head from the anaconda and cut off its head, they caught them by the three, tied them to a tree, and placed a net underneath them to be a new bait for the anaconda. Look for a snake and spray blood nearby. Stand at a distance and pull the net's rope as the anaconda approaches, dragging the rope to gather them near the net and catch it. Some small anacondas started coming to smell the scent of the blood, and the three were scared, panic rising in them. All the forest animals started fleeing and screaming. The great anacondas were tangled with three foam traps to restrain them with ropes and nets. The anaconda began trying to free its head as the net tore, leaving the rope stuck on it. Then it tried to drag it, but it only dragged the rope. It got stuck between a couple of trees. It fought against it, showing its teeth and opening its mouth wide, struggling fiercely. The three were busy trying to untangle their heads but to no avail. The jaguar bit through the rope with its teeth above its jaw, freeing its head and its companions. They moved cautiously, heading towards the nearby anaconda. The jaguar followed them and hid it behind some boxes. It entered one of them, but the anaconda spotted it approaching and started shouting, threatening it. Then they noticed the corpse of the jaguar. The one that was struggling moved cautiously and hid among the trees because a tree suddenly appeared. It hid inside a box. The anaconda saw the jaguar struggle with the box as it descended and wanted to attack. Then the tree slammed its mouth shut on it. When it grabbed a stick, it hit the anaconda in the eyes. They moved cautiously, running away until they escaped. Right in front of the store, its mouth was cut by a sharp wire stuck to the jaguar. The three just watched the anacondas, unable to believe they had escaped death. They returned, heading near the Degra, and moved. Our story ends here. We hope you enjoyed it and please leave us a like and comment. Take care. Oh.